Welcome to everyone to Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you so much for being live with me. It's Monday, May the 20th, 7:34 p.m. Thank you so much for your support. My name is Luis Carlos Pineda. I'm going to be hosting the show tonight. Thank you for joining. About 15 people live right now. Appreciate your support. So today's title of the show is Jackhammer. You know, like you picking up somebody that is 300, 400 pounds, and dropping them down on the mat, right? 1, 2, 3, jackhammer. And that's exactly what happened against the Earthquakes. We shocked them. They didn't see it coming. And Lynn came and literally with a tap in, got the 3 points for the Lions. A 1-0 win for Orlando City. We'll discuss all of that. I also want to say hello to Paola and John that are on vacation. So they're enjoying their vacation. My vacation starts next week, more than likely. So I still have to work the Pride game and I still have to do the City game. Thank you, everyone that's watching. So it was not maybe the most... the game had ups and downs. I mean, that's for sure. But, I take that we rescued a win with a brand new formation, and that is a 3-5-2. And it seems to me that this 3-5-2 that returned once again, it proved that the team has a lot of versatility, a lot of playability. Felipe Martin surprised me tremendously. I do want to say that he had a really great game. A lot of people are not really saying so much about him, but if he's watching, which I know that he watches our content, you did a phenomenal job, my friend. I mean, you knew this was an important game, not only for the momentum, but just for the locker room and also for the team. And I think you filled in the shoes for Araujo, which had a suspension, right, for yellow card accumulation, and he did phenomenal. And again, one guy that goes also a little bit unnoticed, and people overreact in the beginning of the seasons, but they definitely overreacted with him. Wilder Cartagena. People were calling out for, oh, what happened to the double pivot? The double pivot disappeared. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! How dare he? But I mean, honestly, he is thriving in a brand new position. I made sure that people in Peru know about what he's doing here in Orlando. They are aware. I do want to say that the national team is aware that he could play now as a center back, and Peru is having its own center back problems. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to give him the center back position for the national team too, because Miguel Araujo and Luis Abraham are not really performing well. So it's all positive. Robin Jansen missed out of this game due to injury. Cesar Araujo suspended due to yellow card accumulation. Dagger Dan returned to the starting lineup. He also had a couple of ups and downs, I'll say. Um, again, and that's the start. We'll analyze all the goals. I do want to give Wilder Cartagena some kudos here, right here. Team of the week, team of the match day, right? Um, as a center back, which is hilarious, as a defender. Um, Amazing job by Wilder. Also, I do want to mention Lynn as well. Lynn, which I call him the Jackhammer. He came and boom, dropped San Jose and all their history and all their accolades and everything. Boom, dropping down the mat, 1, 2, 3. It's over. It's over. So great job at Lynn. Um, Super proud of how somebody coming from OCB is thriving now and becoming an important piece of the puzzle. Obviously, he's definitely the top scorer of the MLS Next Pro. So you cannot take that away from the kid. The kid wants to score goals, and he looks like a very level-headed kid, very down to earth, very humble in when he speaks to media. So phenomenal job by Lynn. Keep scoring goals, my friend. Orlando's going to need it. More fans are going to get excited every time you come on the pitch, my friend. So just keep thriving. So let's go ahead and read some comments real quick. Oh boy, what a week it's been, for sure. I mean, look, uh, what the Lions are doing and what they've done, it's incredible. I think, yes, let's take it with a grain of salt, but it is the signs of a turnaround for sure. The season is still long, but they're showing great progress. Um, and I do want to also say, Oscar Pareja, you know, you have to give the man some credit also. I know he's always a punching bag for the team, right? Everybody, but everybody, gets an Oscar, but he's definitely one of the guys who's his tactics are definitely keeping the team on point. Um, Respeten al papá de Orlando. Respeta a tu papá. Respeta a tu papá. Respect to your dad. Orlando City's win. It marked Oscar Pareja's 70th win across all competitions as Orlando City's head coach, and his 60th with Orlando City in the MLS season. Respeta tu papi. Respétalo. There you go. Honor thy mother and thy father if you're Catholic, right? So phenomenal week for the Lions and also for the Pride. I do want to say we'll discuss that more tomorrow, which I have. We have the Pride Pod, but honestly, some things are working. Players are definitely getting it right now, and it looks slowly and surely as a turnaround. The biggest test they're going to have is going to be Columbus. Columbus is coming flying, and we'll discuss that on Thursday. But Columbus is coming flying. They're wearing a Charlie Brown jersey. So you imagine, Orlando's going to have some problems. Now, hopefully by then, Araujo's definitely going to be back. Hopefully we get Robin Jansen maybe coming on the second half, But right now, I do want to say that some of our cornerstones uh, of up to now, I'm talking about May 20th, 7:42 p.m., I will say who they are and why. Pedro Galese. To me, Pedro Galese in this game came up huge, 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 huge. 4 saves, shot out, right? Also, 60% of completed passes, according to Opta. 19 long balls. He dominated that stat. Another player that did great aside of El Pulpo, which didn't disappoint in this game, was David Brecalo, right? David Brecalo. David Brecalo had a great game. 8 clearances throughout the whole game. 7 out of 10 aerial duels won. 2 interceptions. He had 9 long balls that were accurate, especially the one that set up Ojeda's pass. That shot that was that Ojeda shot it came from Brecalo. So, honestly, he had 80% of passes completed accurately. So, to me, he was in the man of the match level caliber. Of course, the kid who scored the goal gets all the praise because he's a goal scorer. And with all due respect, a lot of people are downplaying on his goal. And I do want to say that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I, 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 I could have tapped that. I could have tapped that. My 5-year-old could have tapped it in." Okay, dude. I want to see you tap it in the middle of a game at PayPal Park. Come on, bro. Good luck. Like they make, it's hilarious to me. I could have tapped it in too. Like, come on, man. Don't downplay the triumphs of somebody that just scored a freaking goal, man. It's dumb. But yeah, he tapped it in and he gave us the win. So, hell, man of the match, obviously the person who scores the goals, even if it's a butt fumble or a butt goal, he will get all the credit. So great job by Jacqueline. Great job by David Brecalo. Wilder Cartagena, that's another guy that I'd say needs to be up there a man of the match. I mean, you're talking about starting in a new position as a center back, a position that he already played last preseason. Cartagena, it's been not only he's showing his experience playing in a national team in CONMEBOL, which is high level, uh, being very clinical, very pacey, knowing when to pass. He's not overpassing the ball. He's not turning the ball over. Something that he's lacked before. He's turned over plenty of balls. He's given away a lot of tackles. And 4 clearances, 2 interceptions. Defender of the game by far with Brecalo. I mean, great. 86.1% of passes completed. That's just amazing, right? And again, I'm gonna give a little kudos to a man that everybody knows here, Rodrigo Schlegel. El Señor Rodrigo. The way it seems to me is Oscar probably told him, and that's my opinion. In my opinion, I feel Oscar said, "Hey man, stay in position. I don't want to see you in the midfield. Just stay in position. Have Cartagena drop and Brecala drop, but you stay in position." And I think he did great. He won 3 of his 4 aerial duels. He played very physically without botching, without fouling. He had a lot of, as the game was progressing, it was dwindling down. You could tell physically he was kind of winding down as well. And then Oscar, boom, made the change. So it was great. So in the attack, I already mentioned Felipe Martins. He had a phenomenal game. He replaced Cesar Araujo. Everybody was like, "Yo, Felipe's starting." Really, he had 3 interceptions, which was the team high, right? 4 tackles, 2 clearances. 90% accurate passing the whole entire game. So he had a, for a veteran presence, that's the Felipe we wanted to see since day one. Since he got signed, he did very well filling in Araujo's shoes. So I'm gonna put a pause right here. Let's read some comments because people wanna. I'm gonna read some people. Everybody that's here, thank you so much. Jeffrey O. Oh boy, what a week it's been. Thank you so much, Jeffrey O. For life, yeah, for life. That's good. For life. I remember how it went like this. Right. Thank you so much. Um, Wolf Jacks, good week. I'll be there for both games. Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. I'll be there as well. Cartagena, so glad we have him. Yeah, I mean he's definitely gonna be a starter for the national team. For Peru, he's definitely a starter for Orlando City. Um, and imagine in two different positions you could use Cartagena now. Like that's phenomenal. What and look, does this come out of Cartagena's brain? Does that come out of Cartagena's hand deck? Uh, is that the tactical savviness of Cartagena? Of course not. He's just an employee. He's going to do whatever the boss tells him what to do, and that is Oscar and his coaching staff. So that is kudos on the coaching staff for finding him another position he can thrive on, just like they did with Dagerdan Thorhalsen. Now, that is great for Oscar. That's points for Oscar for sure. Whether you want to hear it or don't want to hear it, it is points for him and his coaching staff because the players are just there to play the game. So they need direction, and if they're showing that versatility, especially on defense that we surely need. That's great. Jeffrey O, thank you so much. 7 points in 3 games is pretty good. Yeah, I think a lot of people were down and out against Miami, and against with all with a lot of tangible proof they were out and tuned out of those games. I wholeheartedly understand why the fans feel that way. Um, Especially, but Messi didn't want to play. I honestly feel that Messi didn't want to play. That's just my opinion. I've watched my share of Messi's games, and they prioritized. They thought maybe Orlando was going to be a walk in the park. They score 5 against us over there, and they were like, yeah, che, viste, yo no tengo que jugar, viste, anda, yo no tengo que jugar contra ese equipo morado, viste, yo no tengo que jugar, so that's what Messi says. I don't have to play against that purple team. I don't need to play against them. I can just chill and just enjoy, and I'll hit you guys up against DC, right? So it's okay. We got a great draw, a draw that we could have definitely, if we would have capitalized that Ojeda ball, man. But either way, it is a draw indeed. 7 points in 3 games is pretty good. I agree with you. It's not enough, but it's a start for sure. I wish it could have happened a little earlier, and I know a lot of people probably feel the same way as I do. But I think we need to move forward. Hey, Luis, do you know how long did Orlando sign Jack? Out of the top of my head, I do want to say, hold on, I'll tell you right now. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I know for a fact his contract expires December. Yeah, so his salary expires. He expires December 31st. Expires, yeah. So, um, he's right now one of the players that it's getting paid. The bare minimum. Uh, so we'll see what happens. Right, this is a great opportunity for Jack to definitely, just like Duncan, increase his value. And not only increase his value, but made a lot of buzz and a lot of noise. And I think the kid deserves it. I mean, he was the top goal scorer of MLS Next Pro, which the MLS now considers to be the second division. The USL, even though a lot of people love the USL, the MLS does not consider them the second division. Their second division is the MLS Next Pro on paper. On the heart, obviously, you're always going to hold dear the USL because that's where the club started. And trust me too. But the reality of the situation is we're not part of the USL, and the MLS does not want any part of the USL. And the MLS Next Pro is our second division. I think the 3-5-2 is working a lot better than the 4-2-3-1. I think it's working. I see Facu playing a little bit more defense. Still not the level that is worth $13 million for sure. But surely, hopefully, the we're gonna see more of Facu, and he's defending better. Um, and I'll take that with a grain of salt. JCB's buenas noches, everyone. Great week for the voice. Cartagena had a backline on lockdown, and what a goal from Lynn. Yeah, for sure. I inside of me, I was like, God, like Cartagena as a center back has been amazing. Yeah, I mean he's definitely done an amazing job. Christopher Bryden, thank you so much, Christopher. Jack making the run, right place, right time, for sure. That's the way it is, man. Rodri stepped up in these past two games and played better than he has in the past. Yeah, he's been more zen. He's been more. I don't know if he's drinking a lot of mate. I don't know if he's maybe going through a Buddhist temple and doing a little bit of soul searching. But he's been a little bit more of like little zen right there. I like that. Stay in your position. Do not attempt to pull a Marquinhos and just try to drive past two or three midfielders for the rival team, and then they take the ball away from you, and then you're screwed because then you have to run back from the midfield all the way up to the box. It says, what do you think Facu playing more defense? I mean, how will he get back in offensive more playing so much defense? I completely agree with you. But I'll be completely honest. This is just my opinion, Misael. I feel Facu Torres has always been a great role player. So he's always been a role player, and they're putting him as a face, right? He's the most expensive contract because of what he did in Peñarol. But in Peñarol, he was also part of a team that was full of stars. Uh, Canovio to me was right there with him. And I feel it's good for him to play a little bit more defense. His position was the 10, but I personally feel that Nico Lodeiro right now, and maybe even Martin Ojeda, which I believe Martin Ojeda is playing great soccer. They should be part of the starting lineup, and they've been doing pretty good as the 10. So right now, Oscar is saying, "Hey, you know what? If I need you to defend more, and you're a role player just like Angulo, I need you to play like him. I need you to do his role." So at the moment, I don't think he's looking at, "Hey, everybody pass the ball to Facu." He's looking more as at he's not going to be. He already realized he's not going to be the playmaker, so he needs to be just a role team, a role player for the entire team, right? So another thing I do want to say is the tactics for the game. So I'm going to go ahead and share the highlights right now real quick for the game against the Earthquakes real quick. And thank you to everybody that's watching. We're going to read some more comments real quick. Let's read some more comments right now. It says, someone's Tia needs to message Duncan ASAP. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Luis, any Maguire update? Yeah, well, okay. So let's start with that. So this was the starting lineup. As you can see, Facu was playing as a 10, right? But you will also see him defending a lot and also still thriving on the wing. And sometimes we'll see even Nico right at the 10 and him a little bit, playing a little bit more defense. Now, Facu's playing more defensively means he needs to have more of an edge, and we mentioned it here at the show. He he needed to take the ball away, not just look at all his teammates take, try to play defense. He's just standing there, waiting for a counter. I think he's now more present, and I like that. I think he realized that having a little bit more of an edge is going to help him. But clearly, the goals are not coming. The goals are not coming. So, and that's something to definitely get worried. It's one of the worst seasons he's had, I think, in his career. Really low conversion. But again, we have to support him because he's part of our squad. Now, um, this right here, when you see this formation, you say, "Where's Ojeda?" Now, I will say this: it's all tactics. It's the coach's tactics. So Pareja feels that with this starting 11 against San Jose, now watch, they watch filmed. They watch probably their last game they play against each other. They've also watched the last game the Earthquakes played. He felt this team is going to be able to withstand and off the counter maybe kill the Earthquakes, and then boom, I'm going to make my change of pace changes and substitutions and kill the game. And it worked. Because when he put Rafa and when he put Ojeda at the 10, magic happened. Jacqueline, boom, shakalaka. It's over. Right? So I think it's all tactics. It's not the fact of, oh my God, poor Ojeda. He's not getting the credit he deserves. They're not putting him as a number 10. What's going on here? No, it's I think it's pure tactics. Um, but clearly, I do feel that Ojeda has been playing better than Facu Torres this season. But Pareja sees fit to Ojeda to be his 1-2 punch guy. You know what I mean? His sting like a bee guy, right? The guy who's gonna maybe deflect a shot's gonna deflect, and then you're gonna have a poacher like Jack Lynn coming in and boom, strike. So you also have to let him play as well, right? He's playing a role as well. He's part of a team, so no one has a guaranteed spot, I guess. That's what Oscar Mayer wants to say, right? And we all play as a team, right? So says, how can we remove some of these DP tags on players not performing like one? Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I do agree on that. That's something that the front office is going to have to take care of. I do feel that we're going to need an under 22 initiative um, striker if Duncan goes, and also we're going to need a center back or somebody that could play a center back and left back or right back. Which Alexander Callens, former New York City FC captain, could have been phenomenal because he could play right back. He could play left back, and he could play also center back. But that's another story. So now Duncan Maguire. So man, um, so with Duncan Maguire, that was horrible, man. I mean, that is such bad timing. Um, that is such bad timing right now. Especially with the whole Blackburn and the whole teams in Europe interested in him. But let's hear it from Oscar because Oscar mentioned Duncan. He mentioned Duncan Maguire. Yes, and let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and then we'll dive in dissecting the game. So thank you so much for your support. Drop me a thumbs up. Duncan Maguire status. You can go into our YouTube channel, which you could subscribe, and then it's all timestamped right there for you. So all you got to do is just click here, and then watch the Go Army commercial.
If you're a business owner,
And the other commercial. Sorry, I don't have YouTube, whatever the YouTube thing that you pay.
Well, Duncan has that pain there in his shoulder before. Uh,
So he's saying Duncan McGuire had pain in his shoulder before, pretty much hinting he probably re-injured that. Let's continue.
uh, but the recovery for him has always been good. I saw him
So the recovery is has been good. So he recovered pretty fast for the last shoulder injury. So he's probably hopeful that he's gonna recover for this.
in the locker.
Uh-huh.
Obviously sad with the event, but I see him in a very positive face and a very positive attitude. So let's wait for the doctors to see what he got. But Duncan has been there before, and he came out from that as well very easily.
So there's the club has not said, or the medical team has not said what's the extent of his injury. Now, by the way Oscar sounds, and he said the locker room was devastated for what happened. I hope it's not something terrible, but we've already seen an improvement on Luis Muriel's playability, and we've also seen an improvement on Jack Lynn, right? Obviously, as a poacher, as somebody, obviously, it's not going to have the same impact as maybe Duncan, but you never know. And then also, hey, maybe there's a new role for Facu Torres, and maybe he's gonna find that Facu might be the striker. You know what I mean? Now, I don't see him because of the height, but as a second striker, you never know. So that's going to be for Oscar to find out. I do feel that obviously the team has made an offer, from my understanding, according to sources. The team has made an offer. The first offer was rejected. The second offer, we don't know yet where that stands, but Orlando City has all intentions to keep Duncan McGuire, from my understanding. Now, they're gonna fight a lot of suitors from Europe, from my understanding. So there's rumors right now, and you guys can see online. Right now, there's a rumor um, coming out of Europe for Duncan McGuire. So I'm gonna just it's not breaking news, but I just like the music. All right. So according to there's rumors in Europe about I don't know if I'm pronouncing right. I'm probably gonna butcher it, but Lechia Warsaw from Poland, from the first division premiership of Polish soccer, is scouting for a new striker, and the Legion, that's how they call them, the Legion has set its sights on Duncan McGuire from Orlando City. Now, word of advice, I know I am nobody to give advice, but Duncan, don't go to Poland, bro. Stay in the MLS. What do you want to go play in Poland, dude? Like, honestly, like, what do you want to go? Right? So, I might just well stay in the MLS. It's almost, in my opinion, the same level. Um, so I would stay in the MLS if I'm Duncan, if that's my only option. Now, obviously, there's words of Blackburn coming and all the shebang bang. Look, if I'm Duncan, I would not sign with a team that, and I think he already mentioned it in a different podcast I think I saw online. Like, honestly, bro, like, these people are incompetence. So why would you want to sign for a for a team that wasn't able to bring you in the roster because of an administrative f up, right? I think he doesn't deserve that. I think he should have never deserved that. It made him look like a total fool, and it's terrible. So I would not go for Blackburn. I would maybe Sheffield Wednesday, right? But again, it's up to Duncan Maguire. What does Lewis want? My opinion, I would love to see him thrive in the MLS. I would love for him to, keep scoring, keep being that goal scorer, get the money he deserves, that salary he deserves based on his performances, and then maybe waiting for next year and then maybe seeing other options that are better suited for him. Like maybe a Nottingham Forest, a Watford, a Norwich, somebody that's a little bit more high up, that has a little bit more of a chance to maybe cross over to the Premier League or maybe in the Premier League, because I'm sure he's going to be playing U.S. men's national team at some point. So definitely a huge talent, but Orlando needs to be ready. Orlando needs to be ready to let him go. If he decides to go to Poland, then Oscar's gonna have to see what he's gonna do in his corpse right there. It says Maguire not signing with Blackburn. That's great. It says Louis, don't get my hopes up with Collins. No, I mean that's what I would have loved, right? Now obviously they'll say no, but too many Peruvians in one team. But again, it's I would have loved to have Collins. I think he had a great MLS career. He's killing it right now with Ike Athens, right there, one of the top teams in Greece. So I wish him nothing but the best. Now, there is another, now since we're in the rumor section, and then we'll dissect the game in just a moment, since we're in the rumor section. There's another rumor coming from Chile. From Chile. Yes, from Chile. Yeah. Let's see if I can find right here. Coming from Chile, guys. Right here. I'm just looking for the... There you go. There you go. So apparently there was a rumor during the transfer season about this guy called Alan Saldivia, which is a Uruguayan center back that plays for Colo Colo in Chile. So according to Chilean media, now this is not according to me, that's for sure. I wouldn't post something that's not true. I'm going to try to look for it because they had a video that was, right here. Let's play it and then I'll translate.
Pero sí Daniel Morón, en vestuarios, reconoció que en la mesa de blanco y negro hay una oferta por Alan Saldivia. Del Orlando.
It says, in the table of the white team, meaning Colo Colo, which is one of the biggest team in Chile, there is an offer on the table for this defender.
Hay una oferta concreta para sacarlo de Colo Colo a mitad de año.
There's an offer on the table to bring him into the MLS and in mid-year. That's what he says verbatim.
Claro, la cláusula son $2 millones. Sí,
what the club would need to pay if they want his services is $2 million, American dollars.
Y ya lo quiso Orlando City en la temporada pasada.
Orlando wanted him last season to this player.
Así que parece que va a tener que moverse. Para Colo Colo, lo trajo joven.
So this is a great business move by Colo Colo. It can pretty much hinting that Colo Colo is just seeking money. So whatever Orlando's going to throw at them, they may say, okay,
Jovencito, lo trajo con un valor, no claro, bajo, pero
is that Colo Colo brought him as a youngster to play in Chilean football, and with a really low cost. So they're pretty much winning either way.
Bajo y lo va a vender en muy buena condición y tiene que dejar amarrado un buen porcentaje para una siguiente. El tema es que se te va uno de los pilares de la F. Ese es el problema.
So it says the biggest problem from Colo Colo is that one of the their best defender may be leaving. Now, my team, do you see the flag in the back right there? Alianza Lima faced this guy, Saldivia. He's a good center back. But Colo Colo is, I mean, if my team tied against them, you know what I mean? And my team is really not the best in Copa Libertadores. I could tell you he's okay. I'm not like, ooh, this is this is like Marquinhos's, he's being reborn in this guy. No, this is not Van Dijk. This is not, he's all right. He's the type of player that he fits what we sign as a club. Low cost, high reward. If we sign him with Alan Saldivia payoff dividends, I think by Oscar being Oscar's system and maybe boosting himself not only physically but mentally, playing under Oscar, he could be what Antonio Carlos was. I mean, that's the type of players that we kind of sign in a way.
Tienen que salir a buscar otro Saldivia. Y no es fácil llegar en
It says now Colo Colo, so now that Chilean team is going to go and have to find a new Saldivia. So, it's good. He's a good defender. I wouldn't be upset if he comes to Orlando City. But again, that's a rumor. And I'm going to look right here. This is the guy, Alan Saldivia, right? Alan Saldivia, Uruguayan defender. Now, you can say now is why so many Uruguayans, right? I can say that too. Then why so many Peruvians, right? So why so many Uruguayans? So Uruguayan soccer it's phenomenal. Like it's a small country that has so many great soccer players. It's unbelievable. You lift a rock and there's like 30 million Cesar Araujos. There's 20 million Facundo Torres. Well, I mean, I'm just exaggerating, but you know what I mean. But it's great. Now Uruguay right now, it's making huge buzz in South America. They are the top contenders, in my opinion, in South America to win Copa America. And their soccer is thriving tremendously. They're pretty much the breed. They're one of the breeding centers of great players in South America. One of the markets that I feel Orlando has target. It's a great move by Ricardo Moreira by going to that market and try to poach some of the best players there. Players that not from the top level teams like Nacional or Peñarol. Well, Peñarol, you have Facundo Torres, but you're also looking at Montevideo Wanderers, where Cesar Araujo came from. You're looking at Uruguayans that are playing in other teams, like this guy right here, right? And there's also Brazilians playing in different leagues, like, for example, that are not Argentina. For example, in Peru, there's this center back called Ignacio. It plays for Sporting Cristal, which is one of the biggest teams there in Peru right now. Really good team. Great center back, dude. The dude, it's probably like Saldivia, but he's cheaper. So I think that's what Orlando City is going to have to see. What kind of player? Now, it has to fit the system of the coach. So don't expect a Neymar or, you hear, because I've seen it, hey, this striker is available, do you want him? It has to fit the coach is what he's looking for. So let's read some comments. We slowly move from the Brazilian signings to Uruguayans. Correct. I think that's what I read. He's young. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think, he's under 22. Yeah, 22 years old. Yeah. We lowball them for that center back. Well, I don't know, bro. I'm not in the negotiation table, but look, I think he's okay. Like I get, the Chilean league is not it's like the Peruvian league, the Chilean league. I will say the Chilean league has more infrastructure and better pitches to play, but the Peruvian league is almost same level. Their teams don't go too far in Libertadores. It's not like Brazil. It's not like Uruguay. It's not like maybe Ecuador now that they're killing it. Ecuador is, man, they are sending all their freaking players to Europe. So, anyways, that's some news right there. Now let's dive into the game because I think it's important to just talk about San Jose. Let's watch. I saw Pedro with the tape on his knee, and I said, "Freak! It looks like he landed weird. He might have tweaked it." And then I asked Oscar on the post press conference. You can see the footage there in our channel, and he said, "Oh no, he's fine. He's just a bruise." So I was like, "Oh, thank you, gracias." You imagine, guys, if there's no Galese, obviously Orlando City has Mason, but obviously 33 million Peruvians don't have a keeper, man. I feel so bad for them, at that point. JCB's, Jesus, let's not make crazy statements now. Alan Saldivia's contract expired in 2026. We will have to pay a bit more, maybe 2.5 or 3.5 million. Look, honestly, Anthony, I would not pay 3.5. That would be overpaying for no reason. He is worth, look, just by, and you heard it right there, that their same people, the Chileans, are saying 2 million. They're making bank with 2 million. They're making bank with 2 million. So I think it's going to be around that or a little less, honestly, because I wouldn't even pay 2.5 for him, be honest with you. I would rather him join Alianza Lima than the Poland League. I would love for Duncan to come to Peru. He'll be so happy. All the girls will love him. He'll be so popular. He'll live he'll live in the house right by the beach. He'll eat great food every day. All right. Says Guilla Carlos, did anyone else notice Lodeiro screaming at Muriel, or I am crazy? Yes, and Muriel also was yelling. Yeah, I agree. Let's keep watching real quick here. Right there, I thought, Pedro, oh man, he got injured, but that was almost a similar play like the one that Angulo did with Ojeda and Jacqueline. Like if you look, this is prepared tactics. So this type of play has been practiced probably 50 million times by them on practice, because it's pretty much, got to mention, the guy who injured Duncan should have gotten a red card, because that was not a good coverage right there for him. But then again, the ref belongs to an OBT, so it is what it is. But like, look, when a team starts becoming so frustrated and so hectic in their own play, when they're playing 11 versus 11 and they get so frustrated, you're going to start seeing them turning into, trying to just knock them down, whatever it takes. Huge miss by Jacqueline. That was a huge chance right there. If you look, change of pace, impact players coming as a sub, it's all tactics. You're going to see, there's going to be games that we're going to see Kyle Smith, or we're going to see, in this case, we didn't see Rafa starting, but he came in with fresh legs and he did this. So he did the cross to look for Jacqueline. Obviously, if it would have been Muriel, it probably would have been a goal. But, Jacqueline did make a pause right here. This is a player, guys, that he's so gung-ho about Orlando City, just like every single fan that watches our content or that watches all the other Orlando City podcast or whatever. He loves Orlando now. Ivan Angulo, the few times I've spoken to him, he loves the city. He loves living here. He's happy with the team. And he has, because this team has enabled him to be a better footballer or to be a better soccer player, right? You have to understand he came from being benched in Brazil almost his whole tenure in Palmeiras. And here is when Oscar, Cesar Baena, all the assistant coaches took him, gave him the chance, and he's not letting them down. And that type of, that type of sixth sense in a way, and that type of resilience, and just that willingness to hey, I'm gonna kill these guys right now with my speed. Give me that Angulo all day. Look at that. Boom. He pretty much same defender that injured Duncan McGuire, Wilson, right? So karma is a biatch, bro. What a way of if Jack is watching, yeah, man, like good for you, man. You're right there in the right moment, the right time. And you're humble enough to give this as a collective effort, because it was indeed a collective effort. It was 70% Ivan Angulo. It was maybe 20% Ojeda with that deflection, 5% Wilson that his heel touched the ball, and then 5% Jack Lynn. Great job by the Lions. Let's read some comments. Angulo is from Tumaco, Colombia. There you go. Calling OCSC. Most positive movements came through Angulo in this game. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Colin, for watching. Appreciate it. Stream Jesus. Safe to say that the 12-man wasn't there for San Jose. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, you're talking about, this is an organization that unfortunately they have a lot of history and they have a great supporter group, but I mean, I think they're having more problems at our own supporter groups. so yeah, they weren't there. Here comes the goal. That's right. I'm grateful our stadium gets full compared to theirs. Lots of empty seats. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. That is the fans, we have, I mean, Orlando is capital of soccer in Florida. And I know that's probably Miami people are not going to like that, but in my opinion, I think that they are. I think that they are, and it's like that. Now, talking about that, actually, I do want to show a video that I feel like it was done with a little bit of an ill intention, or maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm going to show it right here, and thank you so much for everybody that's watching. 75 people watching. Thank you so much. We have 61 on X and 14 on YouTube. Much appreciate your support. So this right here. So this is let's do the premise here. So this outlet is Bola VIP Argentina. Obviously Messi is from Argentina, right? A lot of they want to sign more Argentinian people. So they went to an Orlando City game. They put it out today at 3:06 p.m. And then they started asking fans of Orlando City of their knowledge on Argentinian soccer. And I want you guys' opinion.
The only one I know from this is Boca Juniors.
Okay.
That's the only one I know.
Just Boca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I know a few. I know that one.
Okay.
Number 8. I've heard of that one.
And the name is?
I can't tell you. I know the badge.
Argentinian soccer teams?
No.
No.
Es el River. Es el Independiente. Vélez Sarsfield. Boca.
Okay.
Sí, el otro es Boca Juniors, ¿no?
Sí.
Y es el único.
Argentinos.
Es diantre, no.
Ninguna. No lo sé. No.
No, I think it's a little bit unfair to, and I'm going to say my opinion. I think it's a little bit unfair on the Orlando City fan. I don't like the way they're being portrayed because it's two different cultures. So here in Orlando, the fans are really devoted on their team, and they could care less. And a lot of fans that I've met, the few fans that I've met, they only care about their team. It may be Atlanta, it may be Orlando, it may be Nashville, and they really know here and there Premier League and Spanish League and La Liga and things like that, and that's pretty much it, and that's okay. I'm not saying that that's wrong. That's okay. So him coming here to Central Florida and just asking people that are going to the games for Orlando City that it's not the most, go in there and ask about Rosario Central and Gimnasia y Esgrima. It's a little bit of Lanús. It's trying to depict, and I would hate to say that Miami has more street cred than Orlando in soccer, that they know more. I'll take it in a way that way because Messi is Argentinian. So I think it's a little wrong, and not only that, because this was from a long time ago. They just posted it today, so they took a long ass time to do this. And just like Colin says right here, now ask Argentinians about MLS teams other than Miami. That's right. I guarantee you, I go to Argentina right now and I put all the logos of the MLS teams, and I go to freaking, I don't know, in the middle of the El Obelisco, on the obelisk, right there in the middle plaza, right there in the center of Buenos Aires. And I go and I ask them about, the logos of the MLS. They're not going to know who the hell they are. What am I trying to accomplish? That they don't know about the MLS? Well, of course that they don't know about the MLS. I'm in Argentina. It's just like they're in Orlando. They're not going to know about Gimnasia, Esgrima de la Plata, Lanús, Rosario. Come on, man. So I just wanted to share that because I thought that was a little bit, I didn't like that, to be honest with you. Because every time I go and I've been able to chat with fans, they're very knowledgeable about their soccer. They're super nice, friendly people. They I've gone, I went to a bar one time in Orlando just to kind of, just, be mind my own business, have a couple of brewskis here and there. And, people, coming up, hey man, talking about Orlando, and, they had Orlando City jerseys, super friendly, super nice. I'll buy the guys a beer, then they buy me a beer. So it was really cool. Like that sense of camaraderie that you have here in Orlando. And when doing videos like that, it kind of makes them look like, they don't know what they're like dumb Americans, right? Which I hate that. I feel like that's what they wanted to accomplish, I feel. So it is what it is. So moving on, let's read some comments real quick. It says here, safe to say the 12th man was in there for San Jose. That's right. Now, let's talk about David Brecalo real quick before we close. David Brecalo, he's going to be, according to the Slovenian national team, we are going to be missing David Brecalo when he goes, because he's going to be part of the Slovenian team for the Euros. And he's going to be playing against England, and in his group. And so maybe that's why Orlando is trying to push for that Uruguayan to come in. But I do want to say something. There's a lot of great defenders that I've seen in practice. The few practices that I get to go, because obviously I'm a little bit far, Abdi Salim, for example. I think it's time to see Abdi Salim in a couple of games coming up. I love the fact that Oscar is bringing Yutaro Tsukada, somebody that was in the youth teams from FC Tokyo. FC Tokyo, one of the really good teams in Japan. So he comes from already a great foundation in in a youth system. Great foundation, FC Tokyo, in the J League. No, and the J League is really high regarded in Asia. So it's fantastic. So and we need to maybe see Fabian Loyola as well, here and there, that we're seeing all these kids, making their way into Orlando City. Let's see. I wish I would have been seen a little more of Yutaro Tsukada. I think he almost had um, he almost had his chance to score in the last game also. So hopefully, we see him more. Let's read some more comments. It says, I am one of these. I know shit about the rest of the world of soccer. I could give two rat's ass. That's right. That's right. And that doesn't, you see what I'm saying? And that's perfectly fine. A lot of people are like that in other countries as well. So, for example, where I come from Peru, in Peru, everyone is into their own team and they don't give two shits about, they don't give two shits about what, MLS or Liga MX. I think the closest leagues they watch is the Argentinian league because it's free on cable, and then maybe the Brazilian league and maybe La Liga and the Premier League, and then after that they don't know anything else. So if I talk to them about the J League, if I talk to them about the Portuguese Liga, if I talk to them about MLS, they're gonna be like, "What? What are you talking about?" Right? So it's okay, And what I don't like is the intention. What's your intention in, just, already as a Argentinian, right, that more than likely people in Central Florida are not gonna know, aside of maybe Boca or River, who all the other logos are. So why making the video? It seems kind of stupid. What are you trying to accomplish? So it just my journalist senses came on, and I honestly did not like that. Now, what's next for Orlando City? Well, that's Columbus Crew, and it's going to be a tough opponent. We're going to have all the information on Thursday. John probably will be back by then, also Paola. So we're going to have all the info about Columbus for Thursday. Now, Orlando City, with this win against San Jose, they looked kind of like the Road Warriors. They had some bit of rays of sunshine of becoming the Road Warriors again. Hope we keep seeing that. It was a really great performance, defensively sound, to keep and close the game and get the result on the road. So let's keep it up. Right now, they still have a steep mountain to dwell, by pretty much facing the current MLS champs, which is Columbus Crew, at home in front of the wall and all the fans that are yearning for a win, for a home win, a well-deserved one, because every single one of them deserved that win. So it's on them now. There's no excuses. It's do or die. They got to keep winning. They got to get every point they have at home if they want to contend for something. Right now, the Pride look closer to be a national, a top contender in their league than Orlando City right now. And that is nothing to knock them. I'm just saying it because it needs to be said, Jack Lynn, again, phenomenal performance by the young man. He was just there at the right time. That shows that he's been part of those drills with Angulo coming through the left and crossing the ball. So he was just there. And Angulo, with he's, I think, physically, Angulo is better than last year. So what I mean is he's lasting with less injury longer on the pitch. So he's been a starter in every single game almost, and he hasn't gotten injured once this year so far. Knock on wood, right? And obviously we wish the best to Duncan Maguire. Hopefully once we know the extent of his injuries, we could see we could see that it's going to be something that he's able to come back sooner than later. And also, if he really wants to leave Orlando City, I wish him nothing but the best. I think he's a phenomenal human being and a great striker. And I know that the team's going to do I think Orlando, the front office, is going to do what's best for Orlando, for him. That we're ready to part ways with him already, to see him soar and be a great asset for the national team. Unfortunately, things don't pan out that way, but we definitely wish Duncan Maguire the best if he decides to go. But so far, he deserves to get a better pay on the roster. He deserves a new contract. Hopefully, maybe Orlando's able to lure him in again. I'm curious if Columbus will rotate any player 6 days after our game. They face Pachuca. That's a good assessment. I'm gonna see if I can invite one of my colleagues that covers Columbus, and see maybe we can do a show with him on Thursday. That's actually a good. You just made me think of something, Colin. Thank you so much. That's a good assessment. Probably. I think they want to win the CCL. I want them. I'm rooting for them. If 110%. Pachuca is going to be tough. They're a really good team, but I think Columbus. It'll be great to see them contend for that, and honestly, they're doing so well in the MLS too. So yeah, they may rotate some players. Why not? I don't see why not. Where's Columbus? Yeah, they're 7th. Oh, okay, so they're close to us. So they have 21 points. We have 16. So let's look at before we go, let's look at that's a good assessment right there. So thank you so much, Colin. That's why you read the comments. Misael Rosa says, NWO hat calling us Road Warriors. I like this someone wrestling episode. There you go. Yeah, it's a wrestling themed episode today, with the Goldberg entrance, with the Jackhammer. 1, 2, 3, just like Jack Lynn. Right? That's how I got it. So appreciate that. So Inter Miami, obviously, whatever. 31. Cincinnati with 30. And talking about a little bit of Cincinnati. Yo, what's up with Berhalter? Just make a little bit of a break here. What's up with Berhalter not calling up my boy Brandon Vasquez to the national team for Copa America? Is he freaking for real, bro? Is he freaking for real? Brandon Vasquez? Come on, man. You gotta call Brandon Vasquez up. I don't know what Berhalter's doing, man, but that's another story. Anyways, let's continue. New York City, man. New York Red Bulls. They're, to me, New York is red. So, Thierry and replay there. So, Toronto, horrible cornrows from Bernardeschi. I do want to say, freaking nasty, poopy. He's not going to score no goals with that haircut. That's for sure. Charlotte with 21 points. And yeah, there's like a rumor about Marco Roy signing for Charlotte. Marco, don't do it, bro. Come to Orlando. No, I'm just kidding. Then Columbus and Philadelphia 17, DC United. Look, we're only 1 point away from right there. Slowly but surely, we got to keep winning. 3 more points, 19 points. Wait for Philadelphia and DC to lose. Who is DC playing? DC is playing Chicago. Well, and then who's Philadelphia playing? Philadelphia's playing Charlotte. Yeah, it's gonna yeah. We just gotta keep winning. I think Philly's gonna beat Charlotte anyways. Yeah. So we're gonna be in the 8th or 9th position if we keep winning. So we just gotta keep winning, guys. We gotta keep winning. I know we're a playoff team. We're probably far from being a top 3 team like we expected us to be at this rate with all the expectation. But slowly but surely we're getting there. We just gotta have faith, my friend. Just like one of my favorite bands, Warzone, said, for all your kids out there, always keep the faith. Keep the faith, guys. So, anyways, it's been a great episode. I want to thank everyone that is listened and has watched the show today. Thank you. So I'll give you guys a 2 sweet right there as well. Thank you to everyone that watched. I want to also give a big, hopefully, Paola, you're enjoying your vacation right there in Barcelona, España. Hostia. No, hopefully you eat a lot of seafood. They have great seafood, I heard, over there. Hopefully you went to Camp Nou, right? You went to see the museum there. And to John, hopefully he's enjoying his vacation right there in St. Augustine, beautiful St. Augustine, there with all his family. So I want to thank you guys for your support. Tomorrow, John is back with me for the Pride Pod. The Pride are playing against Portland Thorns on this Friday. And then obviously Saturday, it's the City game. So if you want a back-to-back day of full soccer and amazing, probably another 2 back-to-back wins, hopefully, go see the Pride, go see Orlando City. Man, tickets are already like super cheap. So just come support. Like the Pride vibes are very cool. A lot of OCSC fans that have watched the show have gone. And it's like going to a USL game in a way, a lot of very, very grassroots, So it's definitely going to be a good game. Pride are undefeated, top of the table. They are up by 2 points on top of KC Current, which is Patrick Mahomes' soccer team. So we're cruising with talent and profiling, right? And when it comes to Orlando City, we got to get that win for the wall. We got to get that win for the fans, guys. All my positive vibes. And I want to thank all of y'all that have watched the show today. Always check us out on all our social media accounts. You can find us on YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando or LP_podcast, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube as well. I want to show you this real quick, guys. You can go here, Loud and Proud Orlando is right here. 991 subscribers. 991 subscribers. I do want to say this. When we first started Loud and Proud Orlando, I told Paola and at that time David, our goal is 1K. This channel had like not even 5 people. So this is a phenomenal job for the new brood of LPO. John coming in, also Paola. And I do want to give kudos to also Dave, because Dave, I brought him in also to be part of the show. And I know with things with him didn't end on a positive note. But I'm not a bad person, as other people make me seem that I am. I just keep it to myself. But no, this is a collective effort, and also it's thanks to you, because you're the ones who have supported us and subscribed to our channel, and more things are coming. Um, Hopefully, more analysis, more programs, more adventures with LPO. Right now, we have that partnership with the Zone Heads Orlando 96.9 in the zone, right there in Orlando, that radio show. Um, things are looking up for us, and this is thanks to you guys. We just try to do what we can to support the City Beautiful, and to provide the best content possible for all three teams, for Pride, for Orlando City, and also for OCB. And I thank you guys for all your support. 991 subscribers. We're like this to the 1K. So more than likely, I will do a meeting. I don't know, meet and greet. I don't know if that's the word. I'm gonna see if I can talk to John and Paul and see what we can figure out, and maybe to do an event so the fans can come also, and then maybe we could do a Loud and Proud live. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I think it would be cool, to meet a lot of y'all that have supported us through these years that we've been together. So, and there's gonna be more episodes, more adventures to come, more good things happening. Probably once we hit the 1K, we'll start getting the memberships. So we'll have like different other perks that people can have by being members of LPO. So we're gonna definitely try to grow the sense of community of the channel. So we would definitely thank you for your support, and for choosing us as and watching us every Monday. We started at 9:30, and now we switched to 7:30. When we switched, we didn't think if it was going to have an impact, but I think we made the right decision. So also, a huge load of this, and a huge I do want to say a big chunk of this success is thanks to Paola and John. Their ideas have been amazing for the channel and for the outlet, and also have allowed me to continue what I do as a journalist. So not only with Loud and Proud, but also with Ladra el Fútbol, which is my other channel, which a lot of people don't know that I have another outlet. This is my other, right here, Ladra el Fútbol, 12.7 thousand subscribers. That's where I want to get. I think right now it's baby steps, but that's what I want to do. So definitely, this is all thanks to them and to you guys. And I'm just right here, enjoying being with y'all and talking about and making a positive impact to the City Beautiful. That's what I'm here for. It's just to be a positive voice and just be myself. So let's read comments here. It says, I'll be there for both games. It says, one more thing, vamos Orlando. That's right. No, thank you. I respect that comment of Dave. That was too sweet. There you go. No problem, my friend. Yeah, I mean, we have to give credit to Dave as well. So I know things didn't end on a good note, but I don't wish him any ill intent. I know he has another project that he's in, so I wish him the best on what he's doing, and hopefully he's doing amazing and good for him. And we'll move on. I want to thank you guys for all your support. Thank you again. My dog's right behind me now. His name is Ace. If you guys don't want to know his name, yeah, his name is Ace. But anyways, me and Ace are signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Pride Pod, and then Thursday for more Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you guys, and vamos Orlando. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful night.